Okay, well, this is exciting for me. We just did a webinar, Sam and I, because we want to go back to Alaska, and he was telling me about his new Gardner. So Art and I back there went down to Olympia and picked up your first Gardner a number of years ago.
That was a 6LW.
Got it running.
Yep.
You were going to build a boat. Turns out it's too big. Here with Sam Devlin, and we're talking this Gardner, as you know from other videos, belongs to him. And
It's my baby.
this is your baby. How did you come across this engine?
I bought it. It was a running takeout of an old classic boat, and it had been installed in a boat that was originally built in 1912.
So then we have 3-cylinder that my channel has seen that we're playing with for the retirement build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably can't accommodate a boat big enough for the 6. And since I'm thinking about this will be my last boat, I have to build it without going out and renting a new shop. That makes no sense to me. And so I started shopping for a 3-cylinder, and this is just half of our other engine.
Yeah.
And I can cram this into almost anything.
Well, yeah, it's a good sign.
It's talking to you.
Let's give it a try. Yeah, give her a little more chance. And now you just got another Gardner Diesel, except this one, I've been joking with everybody, came with a boat around it.
Yeah, this is a Gardner that floats. So
Winner.
So a note of explanation about this mania. It works like this. If I'm going to build myself a boat, or if I'm going to have a boat, my quintessential, most perfect engine that I would have on it would be a Gardner engine. So that's what started the search.
All right, Professor.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's see
The 6 LXB. We're clear down here, Sam.
Okay, all clear.
Into a boat project. And so I could see as I was aging, my dream was kind of sucking back. And then we threw that dream out the door by buying this boat. So all of the fantasies before were of basically a really comfortable 2-person boat.
Inside passage cruiser.
Inside passage
That's
cruiser.
where we
Yeah,
live, right?
we didn't need more than that. We were used to that with our old salmon trawler Josephine, and but my wife wanted some more amenities. She wanted a shower, and she wanted to have a couple of things that Josephine never had. And we anticipated maybe taking the grandkids occasionally with us and stuff, but grandkids can sleep on anything.
Hey, sleep right here.
Yeah. So that, but as the scope of the dream was shrinking, that then led me to the second Gardner engine, which was a conversation with a friend and fellow on the East Coast, and who, once I found out that he had a Gardner, and once he found out I had a Gardner, we were much closer friends. And so he said, well, I have a 3LW, which is exactly half of my 6LW. And so my ears pricked up, and I said, well, my dream is kind of changing. What if maybe we traded? I could trade you my 6LW for your 3LW. And he said, well, I might entertain that. Well, in conversations, as it turned out, he's moved completely beyond that dream, and so he made me a deal I couldn't refuse, and I now became an owner of a second Gardner. One's of a certain size, and the other one's half that size. The 6LW is suitable for a boat up to about 50 feet, and the 3LW is suitable for a boat up to about 40 feet, maybe, if it's a lighter.
Josephine size,
Josephine
plus a
size,
yeah, which is perfect for our area.
Oh yeah, and
plenty.
and would be fun. So now then, here comes another potential, and the other potential is a little boat called Puffin, who I've watched for 15, maybe 20 years, and I've known the owner. And so the conundrum is that Lyle and his wife were moving on in their scope of adventure dreams, and he was looking for an appropriate mark, and I have the big G tattooed on my shoulder, and so I became the mark. And the way Lyle put it was, well, Sam, this is a double-ended boat, which I like double-ended boats and have a few.
Yeah, there's some articles about that.
Yeah. It's a Gardner, which I like and appreciate. It's a Bill Garden design, which I absolutely like and appreciate. And in fact, I have another smaller, really small, double-ended Bill Garden boat now named the Owl. And it's wood. So it
Checked a lot of boxes.
Oh yeah, we're firing on all cylinders. The biggest change, though, is that we moved completely away from the 2-person boat. Now we've got like a 6-person boat. We have 3 staterooms. We have 2 heads.
You have 3 diesel
heaters.
I mean,
and it galley up. It's just everything that we had passingly thought about, but never really drilled down and fantasized about. But as time goes on, I'm actually excited about taking more people. I'm excited about friends going with me. I'm excited about showing other people, the Inside Passage stuff.
Showing them why we're so crazy about this area.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can do that on this larger platform.
Yeah, so we did the announcement through the Waggoner, your friend Mark.
Yeah.
You're going to be the lead boat in May.
Yeah, so I took Mark on his first trip to Alaska in 2005.
That one was written up in one of the magazines,
in
right?
Northwest Yachting.
Yeah, 3 wooden boats.
Yep.
Yep.
And Mark really took the ball and ran with it. I mean, stunningly ran with it, and now has this guided flotilla trips. Mike's done a whole bunch of captaining on that.
I did the 16 days last summer. We went to Ketchikan, and this year we're both going to we're going to go to Petersburg this year. So you'll do the May trip, I'll do the June trip, and then we'll probably convene and cross paths somewhere up there.
That's what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to stay up. Mike stayed up last year.
Yeah, I stayed up last year for 2 months, and then this year we're just going to go up and back.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to stay up. I hope that I'll have consistent crew throughout. I can't swear to it, though. You never know that.
It's boating. You never know that.
Yeah. So
so the Puffin here is
47 foot.
That's the same as my
88,000 pounds.
That's a little heavier.
Yeah, it's a little.
What year was she built?
1966 by Jenson Shipyard up in Friday Harbor.
Up in Friday Harbor, yeah. It's a local boat. How cool is that?
It is a local boat. Port Orford Cedar planking. Yeah, no, she's Alaska Yellow Cedar planking. Port Orford Cedar and Alaska Yellow Cedar are both members of the Cypress family, and I love Port Orford Cedar. That's what I grew up with growing up in Oregon. But when you live up here and a little further north, Alaska Yellow Cedar comes into its own. Yeah. But anyway, Puffin's in great shape. The former owner,
oh my gosh,
Lyle and Linda Petke. I mean, you cannot. I showed Mike the rudder post.
Polished.
It's polished on this boat.
Yeah.
The Gardner engine is polished.
The tools, the wrenches, everything. I mean, that is squared away.
Yeah.
Like everything has a place. Like it should be on a boat, but we don't often see that.
So I do have a slightly funny story related to this whole purchase thing, and that is my wife was down in Mexico, good part of this late winter, early spring, And I was looking at Puffin. You know, I was shopping, and Lyle was talking to me, and I was thinking about it. So my wife came home, and it was our wedding anniversary. And I promised her that I would buy her a nice dinner up in Tacoma. There's good restaurants in Tacoma. So,
Yeah.
and then pretty much on the way up, warned her that maybe we would go look at a boat. And I remember this admonition that she made with me. She said, "Honey, you have 2 fake knees." I had 2 knee replacements.
Yeah.
She said, "If this boat doesn't have full headroom in the engine room, you're not buying it." And I went, bingo. And
checks another box.
yeah, so to be fair, my wife has become more excited about this project than I even expected, and she absolutely is not, near as I can tell, hasn't fantasized even for 1 minute about not allowing me to move forward with it. And I can feel her nesting urges coming up.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's going to be some new fabrics that are going to be selected, and you know, she gave me quite a list of things that I needed to do today on this work day. So, you know, I can feel that coming in. My hope and my dream is she'll share a good portion of my adventures on this boat. Yeah.
Well, she's big and heavy, even though she's a double ender. She'll be comfortable. You're going to be warm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any negatives. You got the Gardner Diesel runs like a watch. We were down there, you know, listening to it purr.
Yeah.
Art and I are down here, a couple little electrical things to square away, but it seems to be in fabulous shape. So.
And we've got a gigantic big diesel range in the galley.
Same exact stove we have on Black Pearl. Man, we light that in the morning in Alaska. You know, cook breakfast. You know,
I call
breakfast burritos. We bake a loaf of bread.
Yeah, I call that the haven of warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the old fish boats and tugs when I used to work in Alaska, you always kept the cabin about 80 degrees.
Yes.
So that you come in, you're all wet and stuff, and you could hang up your wet gear, and it wouldn't even fog the windows up because there was no heat debt in the boat.
That's why Denny put one. Normally a sailboat doesn't have a giant stove like that. But Denny had been working tugs, I think, in the Army for 4 years when he was young, up in Southeast. And the first thing he did when he bought the boat was insulated and bought a giant stove. Because
the haven of warmth.
When you go down below, the haven of warmth is key. So
and
I know how you're going to be feeling when you're in here. It's going to be awesome.
And it really is. And sometimes in Southeast, now it's been pretty warm the last few years.
Last summer was real warm.
I worked 1 season up there, and I never took a wool shirt off the entire season. And I don't think I ever rolled my sleeves up. You know, it was chilly and wet, and so it can be that way. And you know, this boat's it's got the right ammo in it for taking care of its occupants with that cold and dampness. So.
And it's big enough you can bring a couple of your little rowing or sailing, beach exploring vessels, and some kayaks. And
I was talking to Mike. We're even going to do a little inflatable dock that we can bring alongside of it when we stop in Desolation Sound. We go swimming.
Exactly. Yeah. Boom. Launch your little kayak, your skiff, go rowing, and I love to row in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep, looking forward to all that. So it'll be a great platform, and we're looking forward to heading north in the spring.
It's going to be fun. You don't have too many things to do. We're going to get through the winter. That's what we do. Projects, electrical, a couple tweaks. I'm
going to build a couple of shore boats.
Yeah, you and your wife will get it all decked out, make it your own, and come May we'll see you up in Anacortes for the kickoff where you meet all of the flotilla members.
That's right.
Going north. Well, Sam, thanks for sharing the story and about your boat and your Gardner, and I'm going to keep working on the 3LW.
Oh no,
Joe McCool sent us a giant box of parts. That guy's great. And so,
I absolutely want you to, because I've not given up on that.
No, you're going to start building.
What I've decided is it's just a year at a time. So Puffin is going to be perfect for this year. I'm not projecting past that. I would hope that I'll want to take her north every year for decades, but I can't speak to it, and I still have that itch to create something from scratch. And
after your whole life of doing that,
so,
I don't think that itch will ever go away. So.
No, and so, but I'm down 37, 38 foot, and that makes sense. I've got a second little shop area I can build it in, so it's not tying up valuable space. And The little 3LW would be nice.
They're real nice. So that's a sweet running little engine.
Yep.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. If you're interested in the Flotillas and what we do, check out the Waggoner guide. It'll be down in the show notes.
Yep.
Mark organizes all those things. So.
Yep.
We'll see you later.
See you on the water.